What's up guys, Beyblade Ben here and welcome back to another video. So today I haven't had many serious videos in my last few videos. I've had these kind of dumb ones like make a 3-disc Hasbro and Beyblade Burst combos in a nutshell. Now I'm going to give you this one is, it's still kind of goofy, but, well, it's not goofy, but you get the point. Basically, it's going to be a longer video, but the topic isn't like actually on blading and everything. This one's more focused on the anime. I'm going to do the top 5. Well, you guys already know this because you read the title, which you can't read. And now you're going to learn it. Or maybe I shouldn't tell you, and then you should just learn to read. Teach the hard way. Nah, I'm not that cruel. And plus, I think most of my viewers know how to read. So anyways, I'm going to do the top 5 most unrealistic special moves in the anime. So what are my top 5 most unrealistic special moves from Beyblade Burst Evolution? Not the first season of Beyblade Burst, season 2. Not season 1, season 2. And we're also going to do one honorable mention. So the first one I do will be the honorable mention, and then so it's not like ranked 6th or anything, but then the next one I do will be 5th, meaning it's one of the more real. So the honorable mention is the most realistic of the ones I'm going to list in this video, and then the next most realistic, and then the next, and then the next, going all the way down until the least realistic move. So this does not mean, this is not on like how cool they are, or how much damage they do, or how likely they are to succeed. How realistic are they? Like, what are the chances of this happening in real life? So, I'll start with the honorable mention now, and that will go to Silas and connects the 2. So, the reason I consider this one unrealistic, I'm going to do, technically for this one it's 2 moves, it's like this on a few of them, because it's cyclone, I'm counting cyclone loop, which is basically like it gets knocked back and then the wheels spin on the tip, on the loop tip, and then like it smashes through the center and bursts the opponent or something, or like hits the opponent as they come through the center. Basically, it just like scrapes on the stadium and like smashes through the middle. The reason I'm counting this, and then, oh sorry, I forgot to mention roller drift. Basically, it's like, I don't know, this one's just like kind of goes around in a circle while like spinning on the wheels. I don't know, I don't get this one really. But anyways, it's hard to demonstrate like with my hands, so anyways, this one I consider unrealistic because the wheels in real life almost never make contact because the bay rarely gets knocked off balance, like more than just a tiny bit. Like, more than this is pretty rare, so yeah. And even if it does happen, like I've tried launching this thing so it hits the wheels and it just jumps like once and then it stabilizes. So it's not like it does anything. It's not like if it gets unbalanced, then it'll just keep hitting as the wheels slide off. No, it hits and then it restabilizes. So unless it gets hit again like that, it's not gonna go back down or keep it down. Okay, that made no sense. Anyways though, this is the honorable mention. I feel like it's pretty unrealistic, but there's lots of others. So, moving on, number 5. This is the most realistic of the next 5 I'm going to list. So, we've got Gossam Medal and Maximus Garuda. So, there's his special move. Like this one, this could be the honorable mention. It was a tough time for me to decide. Basically, all it does is like hits the wall and jumps, and then it like floats, and then it like strikes the opponent. It just like floats in the air for like a tiny, like 5 seconds. Like that's how long it is in the air. Then it just boom, like strikes down on the opponent, which always seems to end up in the center, oddly. But the reason I put this one on here, like this happening, this could happen. It can hit the wall and jump up, like that could happen, and it could hit the wall and hit the opponent. I had that happen once. It was Fafnir. This is in the Fafnir F3 unboxing video. It got stuck in the pocket. It was rolling around in there, and then it jumped out, and it like sniped Lunar, which is like over here. So it's not like it couldn't happen. And you guys might be thinking like, well, that's pretty realistic actually. Well, a lot of special moves are more realistic. Like a whole lot of them are. Like some people don't think Surgix Callius is realistic. This happens a lot in like real life. Like, if it bursts in battle, this has happened at some point, unless it takes all its damage in one hit. So, yeah. So actually, a lot of special moves are pretty realistic. If this is one of the most unrealistic. So yeah, that was number 5. This is going. I'm gonna speed things up now. So number 4, Kuza Ackerman and Alter Cognite. So Kuza's special move. Let me move the stadium so I can demonstrate better. I'll move it this way. So what he does basically, he goes up, hits the wall, and then just spins up here. Like, the stadium is round in the anime, of course, and not oval. And, like, the wall is round, too. But it just stays up here and spins. I can't remember what this move is actually called. Like, Gossam's special move, it doesn't have a name. He doesn't even yell anything when he wants Guru to do it. He just does it. So, basically, I don't think this has a name technically either. No, Eternity Launch. It just goes up and just, like, there, it spins up there. Eternity Launch. And then if he's in attack mode, so he, like... I won't switch it, but basically he like sits up there for like he like sits for a moment, and then it moves, and then it jumps down and like dives through the center, which is tightrope dive. So yeah, he's got Eternity Launch, which just spins up there, and then tightrope dive, but, like sits up there for a moment, and then it goes, like moves along the wall, and then it jumps down and strikes. So yeah. Like, I've had bays occasionally. In this stadium, it actually happens a decent amount. A bay will go, get stuck in the pocket, jump, like, stay in there for a little bit sometimes, but sometimes it'll just go, and then it will jump out. But the chance of this even hitting the tip of the, if like hitting the part that makes contact with the stadium floor, if that even hits this, that's pretty lucky. If it stays up there, like... it's going to be moving with so much force this way, then it's going to go out. So, this is pretty much impossible. And it would fall off even if it stayed up there for, like, a second. And let alone coming back down and attacking. Like, yeah, it would kind of go towards the middle if it fell back down. But this is just kind of unrealistic. So, anyways, that was number 4. Number 3 is Joshua Burns and Blast Genius. So, this one is actually... 2 special moves as well. Like, he has 3, and, well, not really 3. I'll explain. So, I'm counting his launch as a special move, because what he does... here, let me grab a launcher grip. Joshua's launcher style is... it's with a string launcher, technically. So, I better grab a string. Where's my golden string launcher? There we go. Okay. This is basically Joshua's launcher setup. So what he does, he throws it probably like 4 or 5 feet in the air, like from his head. Like it's 4 feet above his head, or like 5 feet. And then he catches it, and like as it's like like he catches it on like 1, and then it's like let it rip. So it's like I've tried doing it actually just for fun, and like I can't even catch it. And if you catch it, how are you gonna catch it by the launcher grip? Like the few times I caught it, like. Well, I was able to catch it most of the time, but, like, I'd catch it by, like, this. It's like you're gonna have to throw it, and then, like, you don't have time to react. It's like, what? And some of the times it's ended up upside down. The bay usually fell off of the launcher. I mean, I did this in the grass, so I wasn't abusing my bay. But, like, every time, like, the bay fell off, or, like, you ended up, like, holding it like this. Like, the few times it stayed on, it ended up like this. Like, it's never going to work. And how does that give you power? Like, Kuza Ackerman's gravity boost, which is actually kind of a realistic move, that makes sense. Like, in terms of, like, gravity helping. This doesn't have gravity help. Like, he still catches it, which takes all the gravity force off of it, and then just launches it. So, yeah, unrealistic. But anyways, back to the main. So that was one of the 2 I was talking about. There we go. Put my launches back together. But then the other one, he has Cyclone Wall, which is realistic, because this... I haven't zoomed in at all this video, so it's probably been really confusing for you guys. So, it like slides up, which can happen. Happens pretty much in every battle against a right spin opponent. So yeah, it'll go up, but then his Cyclone counter move, I'll grab Garuda here. Like, basically what it does, if... like a bay hits in the center of it, like there, it's supposed to like clamp down and like knock it down, and then it goes flying and like flying, and which usually bursts it or like rings it out at least. So yeah, that's not gonna happen. It might come down on it, but it's not going to burst it. Like if it's spinning like that, it'd have to be perfect timing, because if Garuda were to even make contact, it'd have to be coming in basically as this was going down, because if it hits here and then it goes down, like, it's already going to be like ricocheting away. So it'd have to be like perfect timing, and that's just going to bounce away. It's not going to damage it or anything. So yeah, that's pretty unrealistic. It's not likely to happen, and it's not really likely to do anything. It's like Vice Leopard's ability. It was like super cool in the anime, but then everyone knew in real life it wouldn't work. So that was number 3. Number 2, I said I'd speed things up, but I haven't. So I like to specify. So number 2 is Shu and Spryzen Requiem. So yeah, Shu, like, I'm not counting. Now, it's not one of... This move doesn't have a name either. But Requiem Whip, I'm not saying that's unrealistic. I mean, it's one of those special moves that actually nothing is moving. Like, there are no moving parts and nothing actually happens. It's just like, she's like Requiem Whip, and then like the aura comes off, and like the aura shoots out of it, and you can see Spryzen's, like, Bit Beast, if you want to call it that. They don't have names anymore, but I'm just still calling them Bit Beast. So then it like goes and like strikes with the axe. So it's one of those moves that doesn't do, like, nothing actually moves, but like, it's really strong. But that's not the point. So the point for this one is he only uses this once in Beyblade Burst Evolution. I think he's used it in... If he hasn't yet in Chozi, I know he's going to. I can't remember if he has or not. Yeah, I think he did against Aiga, but I'm not sure. Don't take my word for any of this, so... Well, for any of that stuff about Chozi, because I haven't watched, like, the last 2 episodes of it. So, basically, what it does, it goes flying into the... When it goes flying into the air, and it did it while in stamina mode, the tip, like, showed it in the anime. It specifically showed it, like, pop out. And then, as it hit the edge of the stadium... Let me bring an edge over here. Like, it hit just... And it was spinning counterclockwise, and then it flipped... Like, it flipped it, and then I don't know how it even worked. It's like, it switched over, like, both modes, and, like, I can't remember if it switched over defense mode or if it went directly from stamina. Like, he was never in defense mode in this battle, but I can't remember if he went from stamina to attack or if he went all the way around. I can't remember, but either way, he ended up in attack. Sorry, right now I room on my camera because I keep lots of my old videos on there. So anyways, it's like flying into the air. So yeah, I can't remember if he went directly from stamina to the attack mode or if he crossed over defense mode in the process and went to... Wait, I did that wrong. Stamina to attack, or I don't know if he went from stamina and then crossed over defense, like he didn't use defense, but if he went over to attack. But then, like, it hits the stadium, which pushes it in, and then it just takes off and attacks, like I mentioned before the battery died. So, or not battery died, ran out of room. You get the idea. So yeah, anyways, it went and, like, attacks. So it's unrealistic. It's not gonna pop out in the first place. And then you'd have to be lucky to hit the wall, flip it, and then it'd have to land back down again. So yeah, not very realistic. So, moving on to our final move. You probably might have guessed this, but Daigo Kurigami and Crusher Doomsizer. This move, like, he's also got one of those moves that doesn't really do... all of his moves, like his one move, Hunt Launch, it's one of those moves that nothing is physically happening. He's just like, Hunt Launch, and then it, like, speeds up, and that's it. Like, nothing is physically moving. Nothing, like, you can't do a Hunt Launch in real life. Like, if you launch this thing, you're basically doing a Hunt Launch. That's it. Like, Double Strike, this is the one I'm talking about either. Double Strike never actually happens, so I could count this one as being unrealistic. It doesn't do anything, even if it did happen, which it doesn't. It's like this tiny piece of plastic moving. And look, this end is actually covered up, so it's not like it can actually make contact with the other bay. I mean, it might hit like this, but it's not actually going to hit at this end of the scythe. It's going to hit, like, on the edge. So it's not like it even does anything. So, but the real one I was talking about is Flying Double Strike. He uses this thing once. Only one time does he use it. Here's how it works. He goes up. He's like, show no fear. And then, like, he's like, show no fear. And it hits the wall and goes, like, flying up. And then somehow, because he's facing Shadow Doomsizer, which is basically, it's the same parts and is owned by, like, Black Eye. It's like his, like, Shadow Blader. And then somehow, it manages to turn like this. It doesn't show us that. We don't actually get to see that part happen, but we can assume that it does. And then, somehow, it, as Shadow Doom size is where my hand is, basically. And it's going down, and it manages to hit it, which is one, like, this part just going up, unrealistic. Just hitting the wall and going up like this is unrealistic. Staying in the air for how long it does, which is like over 5 seconds, like between 5 and 10 seconds, unrealistic. But then it turns, also unrealistic, and then it also hits the opponent's bay, which is very unrealistic, and then it does double strike, and just bursts through it. So, like, what? Like, how does it even do that? There's so many unrealistic parts to that. And then just, like, bursts, and then everyone's like, Daigo brought back bay wheels. And that's it. I mean, the battle itself in the anime is awesome, but it's unrealistic, because he's just like, and then, like, bursts it. But still, so unrealistic. He only uses it once. I wish we had seen it more in the anime, but practically, like, you're never going to do this in real life. Like, you might hit the wall and bounce off and hit the other bay. You're not doing a double strike. You're not staying in the air for like 5 seconds. Like, you can bounce off, boom, hit the other bay. That doesn't count. You need to do it. I challenge you guys. Hit the wall, stay in the air for at least like 3 seconds, turn, double strike, burst the other bay. Yeah. I'll give you like $100. And no one can say they can't. And I don't want anyone commenting, hey, I did it, because you didn't. You're lying. So yeah, those are the most unrealistic special moves in my opinion. Number 1 being Doom Scissor. I'll say the names. Flying Double Strike. I'm calling this one Mode Change. Cyclone Counter. Eternity Launch and Tightrope Dive. We've got Garuda's special move, which doesn't have a name. And Cyclone Loop and Roller Drift. So yeah, they're all pretty unrealistic, but this is like the king of them all. I'll probably do a version of this for the first season, the dual layer season, and then once most of Turbo is over, I'll do one for like Turbo/Chozy. So yeah, thanks for watching, comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time on my next Beyblade video. Stay hyped, you guys.